Each surveyed the spot, practically back to back, checking every tree, mound, or bush that surrounded the trail. The lead and the woman worked their way backwards simultaneously to investigate the abandoned dog sled further, while the third mercenary stayed on the foot tracks to see where they led. Maisie squirmed in her spot when the strangers inched closer. North held strong, still sitting in place. His lips snarled in a growl, a deep-seated growl that started low and began to intensify. Vicious, jagged teeth revealed from his muzzle made the gunman proceed to the sled in caution. "Look at that," the lead mercenary marveled at the fierce North. "He's like a goddamn wolf." "Careful," the female warned her comrade. The leader stared into North's intimidating golden eyes that were dilated. Raising his rifle, he aimed it straight at the dog's face. "What are you doing?" the female asked. "Do you want to check the sled with this fucking monster attached?" Even with the barrel pointed at him, North continued to make his presence known to the crew. Right before the lead mercenary could pull his trigger, the snow behind them jumped, and another bear trap hidden beneath chomped down on the third man's leg, ripping through flesh and bone with its rusted alligator tooth spikes. The mercenary clutched his bent leg and cried out with a hair-raising shriek. His weapon fell free to his side, and he tucked himself in the fetal position to paw at it. Amid his torture, he flung his helmet in terror, revealing him as a ginger-bearded man in his 40s. Both the leader and the female whipped around toward him. At that instant, a shot rang out from the left side of the trail, beyond the dog sled. The leader mercenary dropped in front of the woman. Panicked, she fired sporadically past the dog sled where the shot rang from. Her bullets flew into oblivion, unknown to her if she hit any meat. A second shot crackled with a more thunderous echo from the right side of the trail, hitting her in the neck. She collapsed like a drop bag of sand, next to the leader, spewing blood. Face to face, the female saw the leader take his final breath. Pools of blood painted the snow and ice around them a dark red. She clung to life, pulling off her helmet, then placing both hands over her wound, but doing little to stop its drain. Drifter appeared from the thick of the pines from the right side of the trail with his backcountry snowshoes on his feet and his Winchester cradled in his arms. Ford, also in snowshoes, met him from the left side of the trail, with his handgun drawn. Both locked on the third mercenary, still wailing while he pawed at the clamped bear trap that had shattered the majority of his leg. As they approached him, Drifter didn't waste a second, finishing the job with a single shot to his forehead. Ford approached the female, a butch and bald woman, who sputtered blood in her struggle to get control of her rifle close to her side. Ford easily kicked it from her reach and pointed his own burner at her face. Rather than give in, she didn't cower. She gradually rose to her knees, removed her hand from her neck, and gave him the bird. She then belted a hell of a gang war cry. "Long live the 313!" Ford ended her right then and there. Observing his latest kill, he sort of admired the woman's fight. When he turned round, he saw Drifter looting the dead bodies for anything valuable he could scavenge and possibly pawn. Ford left him to it and retrieved the batch of meth that was stolen from Tom's place. It was shared in packaged bags between each of the 3 mercenary snowmobiles, hidden in large compartments under their seats. Amid collecting, Drifter spotted droplets of blood that weren't anywhere near the bodies. He followed them with his sights, and they stopped on Ford's arm, the source of the droplets. Smoke was still visible from the bullet wound. The wound occurred when the female mercenary was freely firing at the trees. Perhaps a ricochet. "Get you?" Drifter asked. Ford, not having realized this prior due to his crazed adrenaline rush, undid his utility belt and sat on the lead mercenary's snowmobile. He wrapped the belt around his arm to apply pressure. "Want me to go into town to get something for it?" Drifter asked. Ford didn't think much of the offer. Rather, he went to his sled to retrieve a map that he produced from his backpack. "Could use your help planning a different way to Drummond Island," he said. "Easter's gunmen know our routes.